is we focus on the use cases that we believe voice is going to be better at than everything else. So rather than try to kind of throw away the remote control and say, hey, how do we voiceify the entire TV experience? We said, look, what are the pieces or what are the types of experience that users have today where there's a bunch of friction and voice is a better answer to that problem than something else? Like, honestly, if I want to change volume up and down, I don't need my voice to do that, right? A remote is very good for doing those type of things. And so what we wanted to do is strike a balance of what is this good for, what is this good for, and then what is voice actually also good for. And so the things that we try to figure out first is there's a set of use cases around how do we improve navigation, right? So it is fairly clunky to go and navigate all the different content sources and capabilities of the device. So we try to figure out, okay, why don't we use voice as a way to accelerate that? So for example, ESPN. So here I can just quickly use my voice to change channels, right? Again, fairly simple. I don't have to type in, I don't have to remember a channel number. So for example, I have no idea, History Channel. I have no idea what channel the History Channel is, but I can really quickly get access to it, right? Again, navigating the TV experience. You can also navigate the app experience. So open Photos. So I can fire up, any application on here. I don't have to navigate a big long list of things. Here again, when I launch Photos, it automatically starts filling photos, right? So something fairly basic that you can enable. You can also even do websites. So open Facebook. If I can launch any website that I want to pretty quickly, any website or Google News, any site that's out there, I can just fire up. Right? Again, using voice as an accelerator to things that I would actually want to do on my TV is obviously a very powerful way to do that. Now, it's still fairly basic. I mean, we're optimizing, we think it's actually a pretty important use case, which is how I navigate my television. But it has limitations. It's just opening up stuff. What you really want is not to open up an application. You want to get to content. Right? That's at the end of the day, this is a content experience. And so we also want to do is accelerate how you can get to content. So let me give another example, and this is actually a real-life example for me. I heard about a show called Party Down. I don't know if you've heard of it, so I went to my Google TV, Party Down. So it'll take me to the place where I can actually learn more information about the TV series. And apparently this is a cult hit that was on Starz a few years ago. Here I can go and see all the different episodes that I can go watch or buy. The other cool thing is we have YouTube clips in here. So in this case, it's a trailer for Party Down where I can go and learn, okay, what is the show about before I go and buy the episodes, right? Or I can even see clips of what's available from Party Down to see if I like that show or not, right? So again, figuring out ways where I can use my voice to really accelerate how quickly I can get to interesting content. But there's even more that we can do then. So we've talked about kind of premium content like movies and TV shows, and we've talked about navigating the experience. I think the real power is how you can bring this notion of you can say anything and we'll go find it for you. So this week, for example, I was debating what movie I want to see on Friday. So I said, Skyfall trailer. And what it'll do, sends me directly into YouTube and fires up the trailer. Again, I didn't have to fire YouTube and figure out, okay, is it in YouTube or is it Netflix or the web, whatever it might be. We want to get literally to the point where I can just speak to watch anything, right? That's the ultimate goal we have. So another example, actually, again, from my personal experience, the election was last week. I didn't stay up till when Obama actually gave his victory speech, but the next morning I can go, Obama victory speech. It'll send me directly again to YouTube, and again directly to the content that I want. So in this case, actually, I'll pick the New York Times view of it. They have a bunch of different ones. But now I can just watch the full 22-minute speech. Again, minimize the friction from I have an idea in my head to I want to get it on the TV. How quickly can we make that possible? The other thing I'll show you is actually and this is kind of early stages, we're starting to tweak how you can actually, again, how do you live your normal life in your living room and how we can make the TV more useful. So, for example, on movie night, my wife loves Johnny Depp. So if I say something like, movies with Johnny Depp, so here it's actually going to show me a bunch of options of the different movies that Johnny Depp has, right? Again, it's a structured query in that case? Well, I can even do something a little bit less structured, something like Pixar movies, which is what I use for my kids. I need to find a movie for my kid. You'll see here, when I did Pixar movies, I'm actually not doing a search that is a text form search. In this case, this is where we're really bringing the power of Google as part of the experience. Google understands, here's all the movies made by Pixar, and actually can bring them to you in a ranked way. Right? That's kind of the magic we want to enable. Or I can even do other free-form type of queries, like new action movies. And here it's going to show you, the Avengers and Spider-Man, again, they're recently launched action movies. So the way I would think about this is that I think of kind of voice in 3 evolutions. There's the first evolution, which is we just need to understand what the user is saying. There, because of the success of these devices, which have Google's voice search in them, we've actually built a very, very high-quality algorithm to actually help us understand what the user's trying to say. The next evolution of voice is trying to understand what they're trying to do. Right? So in a lot of these cases, you'll see, I predicted that you wanted to go to YouTube for Ivana Victory speech because we went and looked across all the different types of content and said, this is the best place for you. Now, we're not going to get it right every time, so we have fallback mechanisms in case we're not right every time. But we're trying to, again, minimize the friction of I have to do something or say something and then click a bunch of times to get the content I want to get to. We're trying to minimize that as much as possible. The third evolution is going to be kind of free-form speech or natural language discussion. So, again, in this case, I'm saying new action movies. You want to get to the point of, just tell me the best action movies or whatever it might be. We're not there yet, but we want to get there. So I think we're in the phase 2 of that evolution, which is exciting because I think it unlocks a lot of new capabilities and types of experiences that you can have. So the last thing I'll show around voice is how we want to start opening up the opportunity to start taking advantage of all Google's knowledge capabilities to actually answer some questions for the user that might still be relevant on TV. So, for example, there's plenty of times in my living room where I have a question that me and my wife have. We don't have computers in front of us. We love it if we can just use a TV to actually figure that out. So if I say something like Google San Francisco weather, and here actually all it's going to do is send me directly to Google, where fortunately Google is very good at answering questions or bringing back knowledge for the user. So again, I can get a quick answer here. Now the intention isn't here I'm going to go use the web browser to read a bunch of stuff, right? The reality is I'd probably do that on my phone or my my PC, but it's very powerful for kind of quick results that you want to get around things related to your life. So that's kind of where we are with voice today. And you can imagine where we're going even further. I need to answer even more queries and figure out all the different types of questions or types of content that users want to get to. And so the reason why we're so excited about this is once we launch this, we can get a lot more data and help us figure out, okay, what are the type of use cases that we're not doing a great job of solving, and we can continue to iterate and improve. And the benefit here is that the magic is all in the back end. So as the product evolves, I can keep updating the back end to actually improve the quality of how we're actually sending users to different destinations and places. But we believe that this is one significant area where we can significantly reduce the friction that, again, accessing content, the idea of speaking to watch, is a much more powerful way to interact with your TV than traditional mechanisms that you have today.